All right, how's it going? This is Ismortah, and this is episode 14 of my custom Kingdom Death Monster campaign. And this is Lantern Year 5, and I'm going to be showing you the hunt phase of going after the White Lion, which will also include what I'm doing for departing survivors, as well as one thing I'm going to take back as far as endeavors in hindsight. And then also the initial setup and strategy for the showdown. But I'll be like preparing for the hunt, doing the hunt, and then how we're going to attack this creature. Cool. Let me make sure the Twitches are twitching. Testing 1, 2, 3. It's a little quiet. Let me put this up. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's better. All right. So one of the things I noticed in hindsight is, when I didn't have any options left, I was like, let's give people some hunt experience if there's nothing of supreme value. But I actually did have something of supreme value, and that was use my shadow ritual. And that I am going to do. So I'm going to take one hunt experience off of Timothy here, which that's all that would do, and instead do shadow ritual. And so what it's going to do is I'm going to do it on Snahavium. That way she will get a disorder. Hopefully it's not a bad one. And then she'll share Red Fist with 3 other survivors. Is what I'm going to spend that endeavor on. So let's go ahead and get her disorder, which is honorable. I'm going to show this to you. And also she has to skip the next hunt also. You believe in honor and fairness when conducting yourself on the battlefield. It is these strong principles that have kept you alive, and you will not abandon them under any circumstances. You cannot attack a monster from its blind spot or if it is knocked down. So this is actually not a terrible one. So that means that if Snahavium's in combat, I have to fight him toe-to-toe. And I can fight him from the side and actually also from behind. I just can't be in the blind spot. Okay. So put that down as a disorder. Because like endeavors, you always want to do the highest value possible, obviously. And then if you have extra ones, then you can, gain hunt experience, which is important because that means people age quicker. But it's kind of not really value added. This is cannot attack monster BS or KD. Okay. So Snahavium now has this order and cannot be in the next hunt. So she has to sit out. So we'll just take Saturoni instead. Which is kind of something I want to do anyway because I wanted to start leveling people's courage and understanding, but I don't want to take everyone that had points in it. Not all your eggs in one basket sort of thing. So, with the exception of Nemesis Encounters, those I kind of want to have the right people in it. Okay. So I wrote down honorable, so now that's been logged. So now I'm going to do Shadow Ritual, which was a endeavor option I added to my campaign with the Ismortah religion. And that now, by skipping the next hunt and making the person get a disorder, I can share that ability with 3 other people. any 3 survivors. This way, it builds a civilization, is the whole idea here. So, I want to give it to also people that don't have any fighting arts as well. And it gives you more strength. So I think adding to strength, it would be, I want to give it on people that don't have it, and I want to give it also to somebody, like I basically want to give it to people that would support. Because all you need to do is have one person in the party to have it that goes out, and everyone can benefit. So I think giving it to Citroni is a good idea, because only one of the 2 will be guitars at a given time. So I give it to Citroni, and I can give it to I want to give it to people that only have 2 fighting arts or less. They only have 1 or less, because there's the possibility that I could get a future fighting art that's really good, and I won't have to choose. So maybe I will give it to Citroni, Vautol, and one of these kids. And maybe I'll give it to Timothy, since he has no experience. Instead, he'll get that fighting art. I think that's what I'll do. So I have 3 people that will have it. Or I could give it to, Citroni. I want to do a spread of like young, experienced, sort of experienced. I mean, if you teach civilization, you definitely do want spread. You want people across to know, not just the elders. Okay, so I'll give it to Vautol, Timothy, and Citroni. I'm giving them Red Fist. But Citroni already has 2 fighting arts, so actually him is not a good choice. So I'll tell you what, I'll give it to these 2. I mean, I should give it to everyone who's going in the fight, because the off chance they all die, that's kind of stupid. Of course, I could also not take everybody. That is also true. I could give it to Timothy, who has nothing, and I could give it to can't give it to Snahavian, plus she's sitting out. I could also give it to someone who's sacrificial, who I know I can't use for anything for the rest of the game also. Like someone with a mental disorder. That's a good idea. So I'll give it to Valerie, someone who I can't take out. I'll give it to someone who I can take out. And then give to someone who is going out. So I will give it to Vautol, Valerie, and Timothy, is what I'll do. That way I have a spread amongst the population. And let me see what Red Fist did again. And I normally don't do take-backsies. I just know this one didn't care because I didn't actually prepare departing survivors yet. And I was like, oh, I'll spend survivor an endeavor on this. But I was like, yeah, but look. Well, that's super wordy. Okay. Red Fist. SD each survivor +1 strength token. And can spend strength tokens in place of survival. Okay. So that's one that got it. So technically now I'm having it so by giving insanity, instead of one person having it, I have 4. So I have Red Fist on really the next person under Snahavium as far as abilities. Give it to one of my people who's psychotic. And then give it to one of my people who's brand new. Of course, I would give it to someone who's brand new and who I want to start doing stuff. I should give it to Volva, because I already gave her 1 hunt experience. It would make sense. So I'll just keep that card out, but I'll give it to Volva instead. Just because I gave her 1 hunt experience, I'll also give her an ability. Alright, Fighting Arts, we got Red Fist. SD each survivor. And again, sorry I'm doing this during this. I just realized that that was just a terrible choice because for Endeavor, because you want to do something of value, and especially since I have it, you could share that this way. If someone dies and has it, you still have it with the population. +1 strength. Token. Then can spend. Let's put it on the same line. It's stupid to have it cropped. Can spend strength tokens in place of survival. And that's one of the things I looked forward to with the KDM. I don't know if it's 2.0 with the expansion with the Gambler's Box, it's being turned into expansion, is the fact that you have more just building the civilization. Instead of the only thing that's part of the civilization is just your gear, and the people aren't really growing together. Like doing innovations, but as far as like people, what they individually learn, to share that with the civilization, you know? That's sort of what's missing. That's sort of what I've added to it. Okay. Red Fist. SD each survivor +1 S strength token. Because if you have a civilization that's growing together instead of just individually, then if people die, they're like a resource, they're replaceable because you share your growing civilization. But otherwise, you have this game that you say it's a civilization game, but you're playing as though they're individuals. So when they die, it's like, well, that sucks. Okay, so now I have crappier people, but with the same gear, you know? So it's like you're not growing exponentially with it. Because you have to keep starting over, so you never actually grow. Because the odds of people dying in this game is really high. So it would be stunted. Like, for example, getting a specialization you'll never get because everyone will eventually die. Or leave. But this is a ritual that does it. It's not a training. It's like mind melding. Okay, so I think I'm ready to go. So I've given Valerie, Volva, and Voltol these abilities. But who I'm going to be taking out is Volva and Voltol. And put Valerie back. I have this in order of who can actually do shit. I think I'll take out Eltcore. Then I start gaining proficiency in club, gain in bow, gain in guitar. I kind of want to go ahead and keep gaining in spirit too, actually. As much as I want to take Volva. Who has a spear? Oko? The cat's been known to hit in the head, so maybe I won't do Oko. Yeah, I'll do these four. So I'm doing Voltol, who failed trying to gain understanding last time. I'm hoping trying to gain some understanding this time on the hunt. I have Volva and Voltol, who can both share Red Fist. I think it's stupid to have two people. And then we have Altcore, and then we have Citroni. So I can level up the bow, the club, and the guitar. But you know what? I think I have second thoughts, because I already have one person that has Red Fist anyway. I think I will take Oko and try to level the spear. Thing is I'm taking a lot of good people. That's the other thing I didn't want to do, is never take all of your good people. So I have two of these. This, no, you know what? I'll stick with this. I'll stick with this. Okay. So, we have our starting people ready to go out. Chat's still good. Now let's set up the hunt. So, I already have the thing here. I just gotta get out the lion. And then my people. My peep. And I definitely am thinking about making the next miniatures for these starting people. Like make some with a club, make some with guitars. So, has crossed my mind, just haven't gone there yet. So this will be the person with the bone club. This will be the one with the guitar. Here's the lion, which if I recall is here. And we have a bone and a spear. So one reason why it's good to level people as soon as possible, that means they can start getting weapon proficiency as soon as possible. So that's why it's good to have the younglings with some veterans. Have a mix. Okay, then we have our spear, and then we have our bow person. Okay. Let's move this up one. Okay. So now I also got to flag who's going first in the order. I'll just have the order be this, because I want Voltol to try to get first. So I'll go bow, and then spear, and then guitar, and then club. That's what we'll do. All right. So I get everyone facing the right direction. Cool. Now we're ready to go. Got my book ready. Got dice ready. Let's do it. So the first person going in is going to be Voltol, forward. And we got Scratching Grounds. All right, just make sure this is still working. One sec. make sure it wasn't an interruption. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I got Scratching Grounds. But just show you the pick, but it's got a lot of words, but you know, this way you can see the lion head. There you go. Claw marks scar the ground. The survivors may choose to investigate. Each survivor that investigates gains +1 courage and rolls on the table. So the question is, do I want people to investigate the Scratching Grounds? Oh, actually, I screwed up one thing before we begin this. I forgot to give everyone starting survival and update their stats. Very important. One sec. Okay, so everyone, when they depart, gets 3 survival from the settlement. So Volva goes to 4. Citroni goes to 5. Because they get +3 and the max and the cap is 5. Eltcore goes 2 to 5. And Vautol goes 2 to 5. And then if you have Acanthus, you also get +2 survival. So Volva then goes straight to 5. So everybody's at 5. Now I need to update everybody's weapon and gear right quick. Okay, so Volva has 3 to head, 1 to foot, 1 to waist, and no insanity currently. Citroni has 3 to head, 1 to waist, and it's currently at 7 insanity. Vautol has 1 to head, 1 to waist, and currently at 3 insanity. Eltcore has 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2. He was in the last fight doing the club thing and is currently at 4 insanity. Now I'll update everyone's weapon that doesn't have it. So this is 2, 6, 5. We have 2 + 2, 6, 5, 1 evasion. Vautol has the bow, so it should be the same stats. Got speed 2, 6, 2, 2. Actually, Vautol is 2, 6, 2. So speed 2 has bonus luck. Strength of the weapon is 7. I mean, it's 3 + 1 is 4, and the accuracy is 7 + 1, so it's actually 6. Because when you add accuracy, it reduces the number. Easier to hit. Would be 7 + 1 is 6. Then we have Volva, who's new. So she's using the spear. So her speed is 2, accuracy 6, strength is 3, evasion she has a 1, and luck she has a 0. And then Citroni, stats should be the same because he was using the guitar before. Speed 4, strength 3, accuracy 7, evasion is +3, plus 1 from the monster grease, and 2, and the +1 luck because of the guitar. Yep, so we're good to go. Okay, so everyone's got stats. Now let's read the card. Scratching Grounds. Who's going to investigate? Vautol's going to investigate to try to gain courage, and Vautol. But there's no reason why not do everybody. So let's just have everybody do it. So let me see, is this everybody? The survivors may choose to investigate. Each survivor that investigates gets +1 courage and rolls on the table. Okay, so I'm going to have everyone investigate, and we'll just go in order. Okay? First we got Vautol. He rolled a 4. Nothing happens. Next we do Volva. He rolled a 10. Natural lantern. A prize in the rubble underfoot. Gain a lion claw, white lion resource. And everyone who investigates, though, does by default get 1 courage. So even though she failed, she gained the courage for trying to do so. So Volto gets a courage, Volva gets a courage, and then we get a white lion resource. So I'll have to reshuffle this deck. It's not white lion, a lion claw. Lion claw. Alright, so then we're going to have Citroni do it. Rolls a 5, nothing happens. And then we have Altcore, rolled a 3. Sifting through the rubble, a shifting stone crushes the survivor's hands. The survivor suffers 1 event damage to the arm location, of which he has 2, so it's not terrible. We got 1 to arm. And then everyone does get 1 courage. So Citroni's now at 2 courage. He was already at 1 courage. Whereas Volatile before was at 2 understanding. Okay, so I was scratching grounds. And then so if no one investigates, you then do something else, but we don't. So that was that. Cool. So everybody moves up. Next one to lead the charge is going to be Volva. Let's see what we get. This one says Sea of Golden Grass. So this one again, which we probably want to avoid. Fields of golden grass lay ahead. The hunt revealer may choose to avoid the plains and roll twice on the hunt event table before moving on the hunt board. Otherwise, each survivor gains 1 courage, and the event... So, I could give everybody 1 courage by proceeding with this, which would then give Citroni 3 courage, and everybody else would be at 2. Do I have courage this time? Last time I pussied out, but I gained some resources out of it. But this, I can give everyone a courage immediately and go after the lion. Do we pursue? I mean, we have really good weapons, really good survival. I think we should just do it. Because then everybody would gain a courage. And if you get the 3 courage, you can have it that you can't be knocked down, or you can have it that you can add a hunt experience when determine a straggler or matchmaker. You know what? I think I'm going to try it. We're going to be courageous. Which, in hindsight, I also kind of feel like I should be courageous also because Citroni kind of avoided death last time during the whole butcher thing. So yeah, let's do it. So everyone is going to get 1 courage, which then I'll immediately trigger Citroni's story event for being bold. So everybody goes to 1 courage. Gets 1 courage. So everyone's at 2 courage, but Citroni's at 3. And now I'll do that milestone event. So I'm looking for the story event bold. 113. I'll show you the picture. And again, I do milestones as they happen, not during just one part during the settlement phase. The only thing I do at one part during the settlement phase is just if it's a story event, not if it's a triggered off of something happening during your experience event. Okay, so this is bold. In a single moment, your perspective changes profoundly. Select the triumph corresponding to the current game phase. We're in the hunt phase, so that means you expect the unexpected. You are prepared to face any mind-bending trials at a moment's notice. While others may falter, you forge ahead, meeting the journey head on. Gain the following ability and roll on the table below. So first of all, he gets prepared, which means he can add his hunt experience to his roll when determining a straggler. Okay? And then also, we roll a 1d10 to see what else happens. We got a 6, which is gain +1 understanding as well. All right. All right. So we got some stats, but everyone got a little bit of courage, which means nothing right now. He got prepared, which is kind of like, eh. That's really only if he is doing something to help a straggler. But he did get another understanding. So we got some stats, some higher leveling on stuff, which we don't know the value of it yet. But that means now we roll on this table to see what happens when we're going through the sea of golden grass. We rolled another 6. The survivors circle the tall grass, lost. Roll on the hunt event table before moving on the hunt board. So in this case, it wasn't that we got an advantage because we saw the line or the line saw us. We're just going through the grass and we just don't see anything. Okay. But now we roll on the hunt board. Nope. We have to roll so you can just because you have to be able to know the 10s and 1s because it's a 1d100. So we rolled a 73. So in the book they have a table of numbers that depending on what you drew, you go different things. Which is pretty cool. Okay, so we found Golden Ember. 73, okay? The way forward is blocked by dense, gold-flecked smoke. Which makes sense. We're in this golden grass, and then we think we can make our way through. That's more golden smoke, so everything just looks like a fog. There's no sense of where you are. So thematically, I like it. And just so you know, if it was already prevalent, is I always choose the experience over the mechanics in every game I play. So it's like, by having things thematic, having things be more fun, you know, I'm going for what fits, you know, the mood and intent of what you're doing in the game. Okay. If the survivors have a final lantern, it guides them through the smoke without any trouble in this event. We do not have a final lantern. We have broken lanterns, but no final lantern. Okay. The survivors may push ahead and brave the smoke. If they do, each survivor gains +1 courage, and the event revealer rolls a d10. If they don't brave the smoke, they take the long way around, roll again on the hunt event table before moving on the hunt board. I mean, the fact that the whole point is I'm trying to gain stats and be brave, I think we should do it. Because then everyone here will have 3 courage. Everybody. Let's do it. So each survivor gets +1 courage, and then the event revealer, which is Volva, rolls to determine something that happens next. So everyone gains 1 courage. So Citroni goes to 4. Volva goes to 3. That triggers. Eltcord goes to 3. That triggers. Volto goes to 3. That triggers. Okay, so now I need to look at bold right quick 3 more times. Well, first of all, they all gain the same stat because they're all in the hunt. So now everyone is prepared. Everyone has the ability to prepare. Which is cool. That means any one of these people can help a straggler. That actually is really good. So that way it's not RNG. It's, hey, I can help you. All right, so now we turn to bold. I forget what page that was. 113. All right, so now I roll for each person that didn't have yet. So I'll start with Volva. Roll the 7. She gets +1 understanding. Okay, now I'll do it for Eltkor, who's the guy with the club. He rolled a 6, +1 understanding. And depending on how high the levels are, they're either bonuses in certain situations, or you can trigger another story event if it gets high enough, is what it is. That's a 6, +1 understanding. Oh, so then Volatile, since she gained +1 understanding, is now at what I was trying to get, was 3 understanding, actually. So now we do the insight story event. By being brave and being curious, we're learning stuff about our environment and ourselves. But see, it's just more fun to do stuff as you do it, because you're in the moment. That way you don't have, it's one less fucking thing to track. Like, you see, just when I do the Showdown, how many things I have to track, that I started using different markers just to show the status of stuff. Otherwise, it's a memory game, and I hate memory games. But, anyway. Insight, 131. Insight. Show you that pic again. She's like, Insight. In a single moment, the curtain of the world pulls back. So we're definitely in the hunt phase, so we're doing Epiphany. You dream, before you, toiling silently, a strange creature with the imprint of a human face sculpts stone faces into the ground. You meet its concave gaze and wake. Gain the following ability and roll on the table below. So we get Explore, so whenever she rolls on the investigate table, gets +2 to the roll result. So she's better at investigating stuff. So she gets Explore. And then we roll to get a stat. Got a 4. I can re-roll 1 hunt event result this hunt phase. So this is a bad roll. Oh no, it was a 4. I thought it was 1 through 3. A 4 is gain 3 survival and 3 insanity. I'm sorry, I looked at the wrong number. 3 survival and 3 insanity. Survival's already maxed, but can get 3 insanity, because that has no limit, so it's at 6. Okay. Cool. Alright. So we got a lot of story stuff happening during the hunt phase. See, that's cool like this. By having story stuff trigger any time, this makes it more immersive and fun. Because you're already going to have scripted story events that you force into the timeline during the settlement phase and random. This way it's like there's story stuff throughout, it makes it cool. Or it adds more, like there is story stuff during, the hunt, that's what you do, but, some other interactions, to make it more fluid that, triggered story can happen whenever the story happens. Okay, so now we can turn back to page, to number 73, because now the hunt revealer has to roll on the roll to determine what happens next with that hunt event. Okay, so Golden Ember. Everyone gained 1 courage, and then Volatile, because it triggered, then also gained 1 understanding and then triggered that story event. Okay. And the event revealer rolls 1d10. We got a 7. On a 6+, the survivors grasp each other's hands, form a line, and traverse the smoke. They breathe through rags and take turns peeking out of orientation. Somewhere deep within the smoke, they stumble across a crater. They may ignore it and escape the smoke, ending the event, or explore the crater. since we've already gone this far, we're going to keep going. We're going to explore this crater. The survivors carefully descend into the crater, finding the ruins of a settlement surrounded by a ring of skulls. The settlement is absolutely demolished, and almost everything has been ground to powder from some tremendous force. The skulls face away from the ruins, and each gaping mouth a golden ember spews smoke. The sight is haunting. Each survivor suffers 1d10 brain event damage and gains 1 random disorder. The survivors gingerly sift through the ruins, nominate a survivor to investigate, and roll another d10. So that's crazy. It's like we have a table to a story event to another story event to a table to a table. Yeah, it's like a whole side quest, which is cool. Okay, so first, each survivor suffers 1d10 brain damage. This can be bad, because if you suffer enough damage, then you could go to the, you could die, actually. So this could be bad. And everyone also gains 1 random disorder, which could also be bad. So this is why you don't always put all your eggs in one basket. This is a prime example. Okay, anyway, let's see what happens. So we'll start with Volva and go around. Let me just check and say, yeah, each survivor, everybody. Okay, so Volva rolled a 1. Oh, that's actually good. I mean, she only gets 1 brain damage. In this case, low numbers are actually good. But unfortunately, it's also bad because she has no insanity, so she takes light damage to brain. But it could have been worse, so take it for what it is. Citroni rolled a 2, takes 2 brain damage. She goes from a 7 to a 5. Okay, next up is Eltkor, who rolled a 4, so it goes from 4 insanity to 0. And then Voltol rolls a 4. It goes from 6 insanity to 2. So it could have been a lot worse, because it could have rolled, above a 5 and started killing people, so it's lucked out there. Okay, so we did the damage, and then everyone gains 1 random disorder. So I'm just shuffling the disorder deck, and then everybody will get a disorder. And if anyone's at 3 disorders, I can replace any disorder I want. And if they get a disorder that they already have, it's like you don't get a new disorder. But I believe no one has a disorder in the party that's going at. Oh, that could be bad. Voltol has prey and actually cannot spend survival unless insane. So currently she's not insane. She's only at 2. But she will become insane with a stone nose when she joins the Showdown. But if for any reason she takes 1 brain damage, she won't be insane, so then she can't spend any survival. But everybody will have a strength token, and you can. It said you can't spend survival. It didn't say you couldn't do a survival action. So that means I could use 1 strength in place of survival. If I'm reading that correctly. It didn't say I couldn't do a survival action. It said I couldn't spend survival. So I could spend a strength token for survival. That's how I'm going to play it. Anyway, I hope these disorders aren't bad, but they are disorders, so they're meant to be bad. Okay. So, I'll start with Volva and go around. Volva gets, and for the time being for this, I'm just going to keep the card here. I'll log it at the end of this, just so I keep this going. Apathetic. You've given up. Nothing seems to matter. You have no concern for your own well-being. You cannot use or gain survival. You cannot gain courage. cure this disorder if you have 8+ understanding. So that means for the rest of the game, Volva cannot gain courage or gain survival or use survival. So right now she's a sitting duck. So now she has cannon fodder. She can't use survival at all. That's terrible. That is terrible, actually. She's effectively, if she survives this hunt, is probably not going to be in a future hunt. Okay, next up is Citroni, who got hemophobia. I think that's fear of blood, right? The mere sight of blood makes you lightheaded, and serious gore can knock you out. During the showdown, whenever a survivor, including Citroni, gains a bleed token, he's knocked down. So this is pretty bad. That means if every time someone gets a bleed, he's immediately knocked down. He can't stand the sight. That's not good. And that was one of my better characters. Not good, not good. Alright. Actually, I have 2 really good characters left, so we'll see how bad the bad is. Next up is Hyperactive. Whether you are running, fiddling with your gear, or pacing, you are always moving. During the showdown, you must move at least 1 space every round. So this is bad because Eldcor has a cumbersome weapon. And if he has to move, then he won't be able to use his weapon unless he does something else that makes him move. So that could be a problem, for sure. Not good. Again, one of my better characters. Ugh, this is not good. And the last one we have is Volatile. We got Weak Spot. You have an imaginary infirmity. When you gain this disorder, roll a random hit location and record it. You cannot depart unless you have armor at this hit location. So this person seemed like it's just paranoid. So I always have to have armor at the hit location. So that's not terrible. That just means that she needs to be the person with the gear. So that is a not so bad disorder. Hyperactive could be a problem. I just have to make sure I keep moving. So I might even have to give him a different weapon. But the one that's terrible, and the terrible one is Apathetic, but unfortunately that was a character that was disposable anyway. But hemophilia is a problem, but I need to find a way to work around that, because if people get bleed tokens, he'll keep getting knocked down. So that's bad. Anyway, but I'll log these later. I'll keep them there for time being. Okay. We got a lot of story time in this. Okay, so everyone gained 1 random disorder. The survivors gingerly sift through the ruins, nominate a survivor to investigate, and roll 1d10. And remember, everyone, when they investigate, whoever has understanding can add +2 to the roll. So I could have Volatile investigate because she has 3 understanding. I may do that, just so I can live through this event. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that because this is going on and people are getting... At first I was getting a bunch of stats, and now I'm getting problems, so I need to make sure I do good. So I'm going to have Volatile lead the charge. Let me just make sure that she can do it. Cannot depart unless, but she's already departed. This is you have to leave. This you need armor. This you need to move. This you can't bleed, and this you can't use survival. Okay. So I'll have Volatile be nominated to lead the charge since she has the most understanding what the fuck's going on. So I can add +2 to the roll. Which was a 2 + 2 makes it a 4. So we'll see what that means. You sense the extreme danger from the golden embers and linger just long enough to grab a small trinket. Gain 1 broken lantern basic resource. So it could have been a lot better if I rolled, decent, but I didn't. But, it'd be what it be. Okay, so we gain a broken lantern. which obviously I do not see here. Here. Oh my goodness, where is it? Is the broken lantern not a... The fuck? Where the hell is it? I thought... Okay. Volatile gains... So far I gained a broken lantern and a lion claw. Let's reshuffling the resource deck. Okay. All right, so we finally got through that hunt phase. I mean, that hunt event. And I believe that's the end of it. Okay. So we made it. So now we advance another one. So this time it's going to be Citroni who's going forward. So now we roll on the table again. We rolled a 42. .42 is Surgeon. A creaky carriage approaches the survivors. Richly appointed in red and gold, the carriage is carved on every side with lurid faces. A massive twitching eye adorns the front, while the door of the carriage is a waiting open mouth. Out of a small window, a gnarled hand beckons. One survivor with 3+ courage may choose to enter the wagon. They remove 1 impairment or severe injury and gain 1 random disorder. So an impairment or severe injury would be like the volume of crap like it's on Isma. So it's like a trade. You gain a disorder, but you lose an injury. No one has an injury, so this one's a wash. So that's nothing. Okay, so then everyone advances, and then we catch up to the lion. And so then we start the showdown. All right. So we gained a little bit of understanding. We gained a little bit of courage. People got a couple stats, and then people got a couple disorders, and then we got a couple resources and a lot of story. So there you go. All right, so now I'm just going to set up the hunt event and determine what we're going to do, especially since now we got some weird disorders we have to take into account as well. And I need to try to remember, and I'm highly susceptible to forgetting because there's so much stuff to check. That's why I think for the duration of this hunt, until the end, until we get back to the settlement phase, I'm going to keep these out. Just that way it's a reminder because it's visually in my face. Okay. So, to set up the hunt, it's 1 tall grass and 2 random terrain, which I've already shuffled. So we got these 2. We'll see what they are. Looks like we got another episode of finding a corpse and some plants, of which we definitely want to loot all the above. Gets free stuff. And a tall grass. Okey-doke. So it says it's not an ambush, and well, let me see. Unless it says a survivor moves. No, this is all. Sometimes this has starting stuff. Okay. So I need to get a corpse and 2 acanthus and 2 grass. Here's acanthus. I believe that's the corpse. We will check. I think that's it. And 2 grass. 2 grass. Is this the corpse? Survivor corpse. I think this is a flesh pile. I mean, it's a square in the scheme of things, doesn't matter, but if I can be themey, we're going to be themey. Alright, here it is. Yeah, because last time I found just like an animal, I think what it was last time, or a pile of scraps, but this is actually a survivor that we found. Okay. So the lion, regardless, is always here. But I can determine where it faces. So for example, I can have it like face away. Okay. The tall grass has to be 4 spaces away from other tall grass. The corpse has to be 6 spaces away from other terrain. The acanthus just has to be 6 spaces away from other acanthus. And if you go to the corpse, you can try to loot it, which I will definitely do. All right, so for this setup, I have to be set up in a triangle, 6 spaces away from the lion. So, and then these cards will be used to reference while we're playing as far as their effects and whatnot. So we have the grass has to be at least 4 spaces away from other grass. And I have to be 6 spaces away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, two, three, four, five, six. So I can't put a grass there. I could put a grass where the line is, at least 4 spaces away. I could do something like that. That way the line's partly into the grass. One, two, three, at least 4 spaces away, which it is. So I could do that. That way I could start here and move forward and move into the grass. I could do. I'll entertain that. The corpse has to be 6 spaces from all terrain. So if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I could have Survivor start over here, a different team, and pick it up initially. I could also do. And I also kept taking the count that the lion's going to go first. Because the lion always takes their turn first. If it was an ambush, I would take a free move. And then if they got ambushed, he would get a free move and then the turn. So you got to take into account that he's going to attack first also. Which means it may not be advantageous to have this here because he's going to come to us. So it may make more sense to have it like over here. That way, initially, I can have teams of people hiding in the grass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is definitely 6 away. And actually, I can have this closer. I just want it to be 6 away. It has to be 4 spaces away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could do that. That way I could have 2 people at least kind of close engaging this way. Okay. The acanthus can be anywhere. It just has to be hiding from other acanthus. And this is good because it's a way you can save yourself. So that's something I want to pick up. but you have to waste an action to do it. So it may be advantageous to have it like far away, because if I get dragged by the monster or something, to have them like kind of like at a distance maybe. So maybe like have one there, and maybe have one like there or something. And then the corpse that I want to look at has to be 6 spaces from everything. So knowing that, maybe I'll do something like this. And one, two, three, four, five, six. This way, if people get knocked around the lion, they could pick up something of value, and then the teams will initially start here and be hiding. Looks good. We'll try that. All right, so the next thing I want to do is just, where am I starting? Everyone has to be 6 spaces away from the lion in a diamond shape where I could possibly go. And I have people also with disorders. So, again, this only applies when I depart, so she's fine for the time being. Apathetic, she can't spend survival at all, but she has a +1 strength token, so can't use or gain survival, but can gain strength token. So everyone has 1 strength token, which they can use as survival, or to have +1 strength. So everyone's got one of these tokens because of Red Fist. Okay. So she technically has 1 survival. Everyone else has 1 strength, but if she spends that, only has 1 survival. So she I definitely want to be in the back, unless I want her to be a sacrificial pawn to get hit initially. That's another option also. This doesn't matter for the time being. Hyperactive, I have to make sure I always move. So I may want to be in the front initially, that way I can attack. During a showdown, you must move 1 space every round, so that means I can't even attack. So this means I always have to prioritize moving over attacking. That's what that means. And then hemophobia, if someone bleeds, he gets knocked down. So probably want him in the front. That way, if anyone gets knocked down, it's him. That way you lose 1 knockdown, not a couple. So I think I want to have Citroni in the front. And I think I want to have Volva initially in the front, because she could take a hit, and if she dies, it's not the end of the world. And Citroni has high evasion. Actually, who else has high evasion? That's actually a good point. Volva, yeah, so Volva and Citroni will be in the front initially. So Citroni has the Katars. And I remember one of these people also cannot attack from the back. That's weak spot. So Volatile cannot attack. Wait, who was it? I thought I read somebody could attack from the back. Hyperactive. That may have been somebody else. I remember reading something that someone can attack from the back. Oh, I think it's when I shared the ability that you got that blind spot, whatever it was. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay. So I could have him be in the front, go here. And the other person that's going to be in front is Volva, who has the spear. But having the spear, you can also hit 2 spaces away. So I think it may be better to do something like this. That way if the monster comes this direction, maybe I should change this. I want Citroni to be the initial person that gets hit. Has the highest evasion. So maybe I'll do something like this. Because if he happens to go to the closest target, in this case it would be Citroni. Eldcor just has to keep moving. So if anything, he's the person that can pick up stuff. So I'll just go ahead and put him here. The cat, as far as I know, never does a ran. He runs away. So I think it's safe to have these two together initially. That way it forces this person to be the primary target, because it's easier to turn this direction. Plus the lion's looking at this because that was like his prey. And then the bow person, I think I'll have be here. Or have here, that way when he moves, I have a clear shot at the monster. We'll try that. So we're doubled up, 2-2, 2-2. When you're in the grass, they also get +2 evasion, so I definitely want to be there if possible to avoid hits. And if anything, Eldcor can run around picking up shit also. And if Volva picks up one of these too to help protect her as well. Cool. Well, I think that's the setup. Again, I'm sorry that this went a little bit longer. There's a lot of story stuff that happened during the hunt reveal. And then also I had that initial backtracking that it makes more sense to do a shadow ritual to share knowledge with multiple people than just doing shared experience with one person. So cool. So it's interesting to see what happens. I definitely need to start finding ways to get rid of these disorders though, because if I have a huge population of people and they all have disorders, that's almost as bad as them dying because they're a liability. But we'll see. Cool. So the next stream will be just a showdown and then the rewards collected afterwards, or the penalty if it's a total wipe. So it'll be the showdown with the white lion, and this is a level 1 white lion. Hopefully this is the last lion that I fight, because I want to finish collecting this gear and then move on to the antelope, but we'll see. I just really want to complete the set because there's a lot of value in it. Not only do you get a special ability, but it also get a free 1 extra armor on all points. So it is good, but at the same time, I can't RNG that forever because the different quarries have different unique stuff that you might need to advance in the game. That's unique to that monster, right? Cool. Well, thanks for watching. Again, if you want to see the showdown of this white lion, catch the next video coming up probably tomorrow. And thanks for watching. Appreciate it.